Hello, hello. This should be working. It is very warm here. Um, so I have opened a window so you might be able to hear cars coming by. Good morning, Vinny. um, I think everything is correct. Do let me know if you can hear me. Um, Good morning, Chris. And again, if the video is choppy, try rewinding me maybe like 30 seconds. If it is very pixelated, you can hover over the video and go to the settings wheel and see if you can set it higher. Um, I'll watch it at very low resolution myself, so hopefully that will, you know, make the connection better for you. Good morning, Ivona. I'm always so happy Thursday morning. I hope you are all well. Today I have several things I want to show you, but first I'm just going to work on the sweater for a little bit until more people drop in, and then I'll show you. Um, so I have the sweater right behind me. Um, let's see. Yeah. Here it is. So I am working on the sleeves, or the first sleeve, and I'm just loving it so much. And don't worry, I will take it off the hanger, but I don't think it's distorting it. I think the sweater is, very able to pull itself together because it is such a chunky sweater. So, the front, the back. And because it's not blocked yet, the bobbles are kind of making ridges like that. Can you see that? It's kind of folding where the bobbles are. Yeah, but usually bobbles are less pronounced after washing, so and that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah. Good morning, Miranda. So yeah, I've done one chart repeat of the sleeve, and it's not completely as in the pattern because the cable is, but for the rest, the chart says to do this raspberry stitch, um, or I don't know, they might call it something else. But I thought that was kind of a tedious stitch. So, and I really liked this rice stitch from the back. So I've just been doing that for the sleeves as well. I've picked up less stitches for the sleeves because I'm using bigger yarn. Um, so do um, so I've picked up less stitches so that I have kind of the same circumference as the pattern. Um, and I'm just trying it on every now and again to see if I need to decrease. And that is actually also why I'm not going to be working as much on this today, because with sleeves, I just want to keep trying it on. And I can't really do that during the live stream. So I'll just work on it for a little bit. I'm at the first row of the second chart repeat, yes. And then I'll go work on something else, which is actually very exciting. Good morning, Sabine. Yeah, so do let me know what you're working on because I would love to know. Even if you're not participating in the garment along, I mean, don't feel bad. It has been running since the end of March, and this is the last week we're running it. Um, so, yeah, I'm not sure if I will have finished this next week, but we will see. Because I'm just very excited to start the new make along, which is going to be for a light and breezy summer top, and any summer top that you want to make. Um, but of course, you can just work on anything you want and use the live streams, use the cal and the mal as a kind of motivation to work on projects that you want to work on. And we can just, this 1.5 hour on Thursday morning, we can just get some knitting, some crocheting done. So you'll have some progress on your project. And I'm also still looking for recommendations for summer tops. I've been watching a lot of videos from other YouTube creators about summer tops, which ones they have knitted. Yeah, it was mainly knitted. And if they like the top or not, if they have worn it, and um, what I've learned from that is that you really need to pay attention to materials because some designers will have will have a baby alpaca or a wool as the recommended yarn for a summer top, and alpaca is just really, really warm. And wool is less warm than alpaca, but still warm. Um, so perhaps a merino cotton blend or a cotton silk blend, something like that will work for really well. And try to look for thinner yarns. Good morning, Sarina. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, um, I've already picked the yarn that I want to use for my summer top, and I think it will be very nice because it is half bamboo, half cotton. It's not too heavy. Um, yeah. Oh, and another thing they said, so the knitters like reviewing summer top patterns was to look at the strap width to see if it would be wearable for you. So I'm going for a t-shirt. But if you have very thin straps, it might not cover a bra or. So just things that you might not think about while finding a pattern and it's looking very nice and yeah. So that was interesting. So I did make a swatch for the yarn that I'm using. And so this is the Easy Breezy Cotton, is it? Easy Breezy Yarn by We Are Knitters. I'll talk about this soon in a separate video. It's 50% cotton. 49% cotton and 51% bamboo. And this is my swatch. It's just stockinette. Oh, and you might have seen me do a Judy's Magic cast on with this yarn on my Instagram, because for swatches in the round, because this project is going to be in the round, so I need to swatch in the round, because my knit stitches are tighter than my purl stitches, so they have different gauge. And for swatches in the round, I like to cast on with Judy's Magic cast on because then it doesn't curl over. You see here at the cast off, it does curl over. And when you also have that at the cast on, it just decreases the space that you have for measuring. So yeah, I just think it's really nice. I don't have to block my swatch this way, even though it's probably best if you do block your swatch, but this is cotton, so I don't know. It's laying flat, so I don't know. I'm still a couple stitches off the pattern gauge, so but I can stretch it to be a bit wider, and then it would be pattern gauge. So, but what it has taught me, you know, watching all of those videos from other YouTubers who have knitted some summer tops, is that, before I watched those videos, I thought, okay, well, I like this portion of the swatch better because I like a tight gauge, even though this is closer to the pattern gauge. So this is with 4.5 millimeter needle, and this is with 4 millimeter needle. And I was already thinking, oh, I'm just going to use 4 millimeter because I like the fabric better, I like how it looks, and I'll do some maths and it'll be fine. But after watching the videos, I'm going with the larger gauge because this is kind of a DK weight cotton, and if you've ever worked with cotton, you know that it's quite heavy, and and they said in the videos that they liked, for DK weight cotton, they like to use bigger needles, just a breezier fabric. So I thought, yeah, that makes sense actually. So I'm gonna go with that. Um, yeah, so it is my first time in a while that I'm working with cotton and bamboo again. And I don't usually work with it because it's very splitty. Um, yeah, but it'll be fun. I can manage it. So that's just what I've been learning about summer tops, and I think it's really interesting. So I might do a pattern roundup soon, and kind of also talk about that, about things that you want to keep in mind while knitting a summer garment. And it's kind of the same reason why vests don't make sense to me. Um, and this is always confusing to me because vest in Dutch means cardigan, but vest in English means sleeveless top. So, but I'm talking about the sleeveless tops. And they never really make sense to me because they just look like unfinished sweaters to me. And my arms get colder than my torso, and yeah, I just don't understand. But mainly because they just make it in very woolly, warm yarns. So yeah. But I think if I were to make like a sleeveless top in very breezy fabric, then I would wear it. Good morning, good morning. Um, Yeah, so let me know if you have any more ideas for summer tops, and I can include them in the pattern roundup. Um, right. And I wanted to give you an update on the cat cushion that I've been knitting. So let me just put my sweater back. Oh, I always forget that I'm attached with the headphones. There. You might still be able to see that. So the cat cushion, I showed you last week, and I've just waited a little bit to show you now because this is a gift for my sister-in-law who had her birthday yesterday, and we're going to celebrate it on Monday evening. So yeah, so I hope she won't see this, but let me just. So this is it. It's still open on this side, so I need to close that. But oh, I like it so much. I still have to figure out which one of the cats that I'm going to give whiskers. I'm thinking maybe this one, but also maybe the black one because it is more visible. Or maybe this one. Which one do you think? Because I think it would be nice to have it in either this row or this row. Yeah. And then the back is stripes. And actually, while I was knitting this, so I don't usually knit with cotton, but while I was knitting this, I was like, oh, that could be such a nice summer top. So I might do that as well. It's probably showing up way lighter than it is because it is very, very bright in here. The sun is shining on this side of the room. Um, so thank you all so much. And so I knit two rectangles and then I sewed them together on the sewing machine here and here and then here. And on this side, so and I made this cushion as well, the inner cushion, because I didn't have a cushion this size and I still had some fabric, so yeah. Um, and by using a colored fabric, um, it's not showing too much in between the stitches because I think if I would have just used a white inner cushion that you would easily see between some of the stitches. So here I'm just going to use some mattress stitch to sew it up really nicely. Oh, I just. Okay. I saw something poking through the stitches. But with cotton, cotton isn't too forgiving with knitting, so yeah, I just like it very much. So I will duplicate stitch. I mean, do the mattress stitch and then finish it. I'm not going to put in a zipper or buttons or anything because I know my sister-in-law and I know she will never probably never wash it. And I mean this whole thing is washable. Thank you. So yeah, and you could throw this whole thing in a wash, so that's fine. The only thing I'm worried about is that, she has a cat, so yeah, it'll probably get scratched up. Um, Momo already snagged one of the stitches with her nails, but I pulled it to the other side and it was fine. And, every once in a while I can do a little bit of just mending for her if there are too many snags. So yeah, but I like it. So I will finish that over the weekend and then take some pictures. But yes, so as I said last week, I'm going to film a video for how I do the intarsia for the Patreon page. And I'm thinking we can just do 4 of them. But you can use the same technique and add in more squares. But I think for the video, it will be more manageable for me. It will be quicker to film if I just do 4 squares. And that will show you all of the techniques. So, and I'm thinking of using wool for that because, yeah, intarsia kind of shows a little bit of, well, there is some pulling on the stitches that you always see with intarsia, but I think it might be even more noticeable in cotton than in wool. So I think I'm going to use wool for the tutorial. So we will see. Um, and let me prepare the camera on my phone because I want to show you some. I want to be putting some squares together during the live. I thought that would be very nice because I have been working a lot on my colorwork blanket. This one. um, and I've finished some more squares. I finished a lot more. And I set myself the challenge of doing 1 a day. That is not happening. I'm currently doing 6 a week, so I'm giving myself 1 day off a week and doing 1 square a day for the rest. So let me prepare the phone camera so you can see that better. There it is. It is working. Let's just get it out of this screen. Perfect. Okay. I just like when things work out. Right. So I have finished a lot of squares. And I've tried to put squares of the same type together, so it's easier for me to piece the blanket together. Of course, these are all in a jumble right now. Right. Yes, the triangles. Okay, so just as a recap, let me show you which squares we have. So this is my colorwork sampler blanket. We have square number 1 with the diamonds. Then we have square number 2 with berries or circles. Here's another one of those. We have triangles. We have pluses or crosses. Then, I don't know what to call this, squares and lines. I have another one of those here. I like this one very much. Oh, I don't think the camera is working with me. Yeah, there we go. So this is another one of the squares and stripes. So that was number 5. Then we have number 6, which is this one, the gingham one. I have these as well. Number 7, which are leaves. The camera is having some difficulty. Yeah, the leaves. Let me just check if everything is running. And then number 8. Yeah. So these are the flowers. So these are all the 8 patterns that are included in the Colorwork sampler blanket. Yeah. Okay, so Serena says this one looks like a Chinese room divider. And funnily enough, this is a Chinese character. So this means middle. But of course, I've linked them all together, so it doesn't really look like it. Ooh, wait, I have a fun, wait, just 1 minute. So since I've studied Mandarin Chinese, my geek is coming out to play. So wait, let's see if you can see this. So this means middle, and this is also the first character of China. That's China. But, so this means middle, but if you have this character, this means, oh, how do you say that? Like a barbecue skewer. Because it is kind of like, the skewer with 2 pieces of meat. So whenever you were, outside on the streets and you would see little barbecue places, and often they would have like a sign with just this character in neon lights, and you would know, I can order barbecue skewers there. So that was the first character that I taught to my boyfriend because it was the most like visually representing Chinese character. So there you go. A little bit of Chinese for you. So I am going to be assembling these. Where do I have? Okay, let's see if I have them all. So I need to join all of them horizontally and then vertically. And the layout for these is also in the pattern. I had this. That is that right? I don't remember. Okay, but I can do that later. First, I'll have to join these. Um, and let's see. That may be too much. There. So, I'm going to be joining those together. I'll move the camera a little bit. And this is probably not going to be clear enough, to act as a tutorial, but I do have tutorial videos for this on my website, so no need to worry. So I still have a lot of squares to go, but seaming together some of the squares always motivates me to get going with the rest of the project. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I mean, color work flat is, well, for me, it was really um, more difficult when I thought about it than it actually is. Um, but still, color work in the round is more fun. But oh, I just love this. I will say, um, it might have been a better idea of mine if I would have, made a smaller pattern first, because this is a huge project, and I didn't really realize that beforehand. So it might have been smarter of me to do like a pillowcase first, or a little bag. And I think actually that this would look really, really nice in less colors, which is not something I say very often. But, you know, if I, for example, for the Sassenach pillows, I chose 6 colors and they look more elegant than this. And I think that would be very nice. Serena says I have to wait and get a color pack and start. I make them in the round, then I don't have to do something with the back. But then you have to do double the amount of knitting, right? Because I'm not sure if I will do something with the back. I mean, probably, but I'm not sure. Then you have more fun too, yeah. Yeah, so you will need double the amount of yarn. Um, or Yeah, so what I've been thinking is if I have a blanket, wait, let me just, because I know this works better. So right now I have a blanket with all squares, right? But what if I do horizontal strips? Kind of imagine the Sassenach pillows, right? And say that you knit that in the round, but with an open edge, and then at the end you just cut this, so we learn how to steek, right? And then you can fold it open and you have a really beautiful blanket. But you couldn't do that with this, because with this one you have multiple squares and multiple colors in each block. So yeah. But yeah, just something I'm thinking about for the next pattern, because I just love this so much, and I want to be able to create just blankets and other pieces that will be in families for generations. That will be, yeah, loved for so long. Okay, first join is done. Hello, good morning, Vera. Right, that's the first one done. So now I'm joining these, and this one is already joined, so that's nice. I have actually been thinking, um, talking about these squares and that these are knit flat. I have actually been thinking if it's possible, well, I know it's possible, but to start from the center and then to work in 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 the round to the outside, because then you're only knitting. So you're only working on the right side. So that might be a nice idea for color work, but also it's a little bit more difficult for me to design. But I think that that would be a nice like middle step in between regular color work and flat color work. And you could still, you know, make really pretty squares and do a whole bunch of projects with that. But I always have a million and one ideas, and I need to try and figure out what is actually a good idea, what is actually going to, you know, be nice to knit. So some ideas just stay ideas. Okay, that's another square done. Good morning, Emma. Oh, yeah, I'm glad to keep you company while you do your laundry. Oh, I wanted to tell you because I saw you were also waiting on the new Zelda game. Um, and I've been playing it nonstop for the last couple days. But for me, the shipping was also delayed. So it was not just you. And I haven't been knitting as much because of the new game. I've been obsessed. Okay, let's see. We have these go together, these, and then we have two more. I'm trying to figure out if I planned it like this or with different colors, because I don't remember. Yeah, I am wondering what was going on with personnel because, yeah, it was not fun. We were supposed to have it on Tuesday, and then they only delivered it on Friday. Which, we were just trying to avoid spoilers everywhere. Okay, so I have two more squares to join, and then I can join the big horizontal seam. Hmm, I love this so much. I, you know, um, I I always hear that people don't like seaming, but, you know, I think the thing that I didn't like about seaming was that I didn't know exactly how to piece things together. And, if you're making a sweater in pieces, for example, and you have the front and the back, and then you have the sleeves, and yeah, sometimes it can be a little confusing, and I also don't like seaming for that. But, for just square pieces where you can join the stitches one to one, I actually really enjoy it. Because I get that, if you're joining a sweater and, you have the side of the body like this, and then you have the top of the sleeves like this, and the half of the sleeve has to join to the front, and then the half to the back. And I get that that is very confusing because then you have to, you know, kind of pin it together and make sure that, it's symmetrical and stuff. So I wonder if it's just that, or that people also dislike doing mattress stitch, for example. Yeah, you can make the vertical strips in one go. You definitely can. So one person, at least one person that I know of, is doing that. So you basically knit a square, and then instead of casting off, you knit one more row with the color A, so with the pink here, and then instead of casting on, you knit one, or you purl one row with color A for this one, and then you just knit. But then you don't have the seams here, so see where you kind of have this little dent in the fabric? You won't have that when you make vertical strips, but it also means that you don't have to do so much seaming. So yeah. So there are pros and cons to each of these methods, but I think I like this method because it means I can just make squares. And for example, I really like this square. It's really easy to do, and for now, I think I just want to make all of these squares in one go and then move on to the next one and make all of those in one go. And I think it will go faster for me if I do that. And if you make strips, then you really have to think about the colors already, the color placement, because, yeah, you make them and they're already attached. So yeah, I actually think this pattern would be much easier to do in less colors because you don't have to think as much about the placement. And now, yeah, I'm kind of wondering like, oh, okay, is this going to work? And yeah, I worry a lot about color placement sometimes. But there are 80 colors in here, so there's always going to be colors next to each other that I don't really like, but in the, in the entire blanket, I don't think you're going to notice it. It's all going to be like an explosion of color. For this one, you just need one color pack for Metropolis. But if you say you're going to knit them in the round, then you would need two, which is kind of a shame, right? Um, or you can make a smaller blanket, of course. But for the pattern, for the blanket as it is in the pattern, you just need one. And then let me show you the amounts I have left over. Okay, so this is my Metropolis box. Is that showing it correctly? Yes. Okay. So these are the amounts I have left over after every. I don't know if this is from the blanket or not. So it's not a lot, and I'm going to knit a cowl with these leftovers because I think that would be very nice. And yeah. Okay, I'm almost done with the last horizontal seam, and then I'll go on to the vertical seam, which is when this will really come together. Someday I want to make a blanket like this as well with my swatches. Um, or I've been knitting a lot of squares from souvenir yarn. So whenever I am in a yarn store on holiday and I don't really know what to get, I always get one ball in worsted or Aran weight that I can use to knit a couple squares for my souvenir blanket. So this is a really long-term project because it's been, I don't know, perhaps 8 years and I only have a small pile of squares. But it is nice to, you know, have a kind of plan for my souvenir yarns. And I'm making those with bigger squares, so I won't need as much for a blanket. And then I can just sew them together like this. Okay, those were the vertical strips. So now I do the seaming. I still have a little end here from where I did the first vertical seam, so I might as well use that. Hey, good morning, Annalena. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well. Ah, yeah, take a break, Emma, because you need some rest. start of the vertical seam is here. Oh, this is gonna look so nice. Ah, I'm stupidly excited for this blanket. When it's done, it might be, you know, the best thing I ever made. Sometimes, I think I would really like to attend at craft fairs and just think about having this blanket as a backdrop for my booth. That would be so nice. Oh, Emma says it's a long road ahead, unfortunately, due to some complications from the surgery 2.5 months ago. Oh no, slow recovery process. Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. I hope you can find lots of rest during the next couple months. I mean, hoping that it is a couple months till you recover and not longer. Um, because it is so difficult to rest nowadays, isn't it? Because everything around you is telling you to go, 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 work, 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 make money, turn your hobby into profit, everything. And, you know, it's hard for everyone, and I can't even imagine what it is like if your body doesn't do what you want it to do. And so, yeah, I hope you'll feel better soon. Hmm. Oops. Uh-oh. I think I'll be streaming a little bit longer today because I usually only live stream until 10:30, but I actually really want to finish this. So I might just stay here until I finish this scene. It's expected to take up to 3 to 6 months to recover. So doing what I can, but I will get better and hope to be working again. I do miss it, but taking my time to get there. Yeah. It's, yeah, you'll get there, and hopefully, you know, you won't have something like this again, and you can look back on it and think, yeah, my rest was worth it, and yeah. And we can just be kind to ourselves. Oops. I hope I'm not pulling on the yarn too much. I don't want to rip it. There. I'm glad it is relaxing to watch because I was just worrying about, oh, is this too boring? I don't know. So thank you, Vera. I worry about a lot of things. Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm glad to keep you company. Ariadne says, when I'm crafting, I always like to put on a video where someone else crafts or talks about it, so definitely not boring. Thank you! Yeah, I also like to just have something, background noise going on. But yeah, I was wondering if I maybe should have put on music or something, but I don't really listen to music myself, so um, I'm a big fan of audiobooks though. Um, I've been a fan of Becky Albertalli's books recently. Those have been nice. They're kind of like Heartstopper books by Alice Oseman. It's kind of the same vibe. So, really nice. But yeah, otherwise, I'm also mainly listening to YouTube podcasts or sometimes, um, yeah, recently like Zelda live streams of someone playing the video game. Oh, very recently there was this live stream from Shetland, so from one of the Shetland Islands to the north east of Scotland, I think. And there was this live stream where two women were knitting for 24 hours and they were knitting a scarf, and it was just so fun to watch. Oh, I'm worried that this square might be shorter than this square. How did that happen? Or maybe this is just blocked larger. I don't know. And you guys keep me company as well. Because, usually I would have been so distracted. I would have checked my Instagram a million times already. Yeah, 24 hours. It was, yeah. it was very impressive. I mean, I think they were doing it for charity. Oh God, I really think this square is larger. How is that possible? One, one, two, two. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do some fudging right here. That's okay. We can do that. I probably misread my own pattern, which is hilarious. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see? I've knit this square shorter. See, because here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this square I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How did I miss that? So I will have the same issue when I'm joining to this side. But all right, it's fixable. Yeah, but it was just really fun to watch two Shetland women knitting because they also they have a different knitting vocabulary. So they don't say knitting, they say macking, which might be derived from Flemish, you know, Dutch actually, but at the time it was all called Flemish. Maken, making, because a lot of English words nowadays derive from Flemish. Um, yeah. Also, the word for steeking, when you steek, you cut open a garment, but steek means stitch in Dutch. Yeah, but anyway, so it was really fun to hear them talking, and yeah. I mean, I've seen it more often that people will do this kind of marathon of knitting, and then, they start just with the fleece of the sheep that has just been sheared, whatever, and then they spin it into yarn, and then they knit a sweater all within 24 hours, and it's just mind blowing. From sheep to sweater, that's what it was called. And I actually think, if TV or Netflix had knitting TV where you could watch someone knit for 24, all day, I would watch that. Oh, have you watched the Albanach knitter, also knitter from Scotland? No, I have to write that down. Albanach. Oh, Alabach. Or is it Albanach? Because Alabach means Scottish person. Yay! Congrats, Emma! I still have a pile of laundry. Clean laundry that has been in the basket for 3 days, waiting for me to fold it. Albanach. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I've been learning some Scottish words. So I know that Alba is Scotland, and like Bria is pretty, and yeah, just for fun. I've also been learning some American Sign Language. I don't know. I just love languages, and yeah, and whenever I feel like I want something to do, I just learn a couple of words, and I just think it's fascinating. Oh, you would watch that too, Emma? Yeah. Knitting TV. And I mean, we have the perfect name, Netflix, right? That's a great job, Emma. Uh, Laundry is just like forever. It's There's always new laundry. And that's why everyone should wear wool sweaters, because wool sweaters you only have to wash once a season, right? And to be fair, my laundry is like for myself is mostly, underwear and socks. um, and my non knitted things. And then once a month, I wash all of my woolly socks that I wore that month. Yeah. But yeah, I don't live by myself, so most of the laundry I do is my boyfriend's. And he does all of the vacuuming. So, and usually like doing the dishes. He does that and I do the laundry and yeah, groceries. Yeah, Netflix. I think we're onto something here. Maybe I should do more live streams. Okay, I think I'm going to attach a new thread just for the last square, because this thread is getting a little thin as well. Carmen's Netflix. Yeah. Although, do you think we'll get sued by Netflix? I'm not sure. I think next time I need to seam something together, I'm just going to stream. Because, I mean, live stream, because then I'll actually get stuff done. Or maybe we can have like a live stream when we need to sew in ends or like something like that. Thank you. I like the idea too. Okay. Okay, so next time I have to do something really boring, like seaming or sewing ends, I'll just come on live and and we can all struggle through it. Oh, this also makes me think of there was this yarn store in Rotterdam called Jawol. They're just an online yarn store now. Or maybe they're not a yarn store anymore, but just like. Anyway, they had a real yarn store, and every once in a while they would have a literary knit night. Literary meaning as in literature. And they would have someone uh, come and read part of a book while other people knit. And I thought, oh, that is such a great idea. It's like an audiobook, but with company. It's like, oh, um, it's like knitting radio. But I really, really like that idea. But Rotterdam is like 2.5 hours away from me, so I didn't go to any of them. But it sounds like a really good idea. Better than a podcast, I always want to search for the patterns and the yarn. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, so you're stopping what you're doing and, yeah. I get that. You're all giving me such good ideas. Thank you so much. Tea, chocolate, and a cross stitch. Ooh, nice. And not to forget a comfortable place on my couch. Ooh, nice. That sounds like the perfect setting. Almost done. Okay, let me go back to the single camera. Oh, this headset is hurting my ears a little bit. Okay. Ta-da! So this is not the full length of the blanket. It still needs two squares up top, but I haven't finished enough of those yet because I want a little bit more of a choice color-wise. So yay! Thank you. I like it really, really much. And the back. The back is not too bad. Yeah, so the pattern layout is that, you have 8 different designs, and then you also have 8 blankets, 8 squares in height. So you start with square number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I still need to do those. And then the second row starts with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, so diagonally, you'll have the same patterns. I can't. Diagonally, yeah. And I think that's nice. But because I've kept this like shorter, I can still decide whether I want to add on top or whether I want to add to the bottom. So I can still change where this is going to be in the final blanket. I hope that makes sense. If not, you'll see it when I have more progress. Oh, it would work for a scarf, I think. Let me see how that is. It would be. It could be. Or like a cardigan. I've been seeing a lot of square cardigans since Harry Styles wore a crochet cardigan. Everyone has been crocheting cardigans from like little squares. Thank you all so much. All right. Now I am going to do some work. Yeah, I'm still working on the online workshops coming up. So I'm going to do some work, and then I'm going to knit my square of the day. And yeah, I have a whole stack of squares. So wait, let me actually put all of the squares here. Some of them I've already sewn together. Ta-da! Yeah. But I still need a lot. Right! Thank you all so much for being here with me while I seam this together. Thank you for keeping me company. I loved having you here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it too. And I will be back next week when it will be the 1st of July, 1st of June, and we will start the summer top Mal. So get your summery yarns ready or work on everything you want, anything, or just sit here and have tea. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.